Welcome to Clowder Convos. I'm your host, Alexa Kay, Director of Client Success here at Clowder. Our goal for this video series is to present casual conversations about apps and emerging trends in the mobile engagement space. We also want to make this collaborative, so we'd love to hear from you after each video. You can participate by downloading the Clowder mobile app if you haven't already, and drop a question or a comment in the Clowder Convos forum, or you can use the hashtag Clowder Convos and drop us a line on Twitter. Today I'm joined by my co-host in training, Clowder's COO and co-founder, Brad Latour. Brad, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
You are welcome. So, Brad, today we're going to talk a little bit about apps, what's going on in the app space, what makes you use apps, what's engaging. So our first question is, what apps are you using?
Okay, good question. Thanks for having me again. I would say the apps I'm using most on a daily basis, let's start there, Waze. So clearly I know how to get to and from the office every day, but I do want to know what's going on with traffic.
Sure.
So is there an accident up ahead? Is there police up ahead? Do I need to be rerouted? So I use that app religiously every day, twice a day, to and from the office. I find it really helpful. I use banking apps maybe once or twice a week. Social apps for entertainment, what's going on with LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. And then I think apps that I find really functional that just help me with organizational type stuff. I have a spending app that I'll use on a personal level just to kind of see what's going on with my spending habits. And then TeamSnap is an app that I use for my daughter's soccer team.
Okay.
So that helps me understand what time the game is, what time I need to have her there. Are they wearing the home uniform, the black uniform, the white socks, the black socks, all the details. So it's very functional.
Sure.
And it's so easy to use. I don't even take emails from that team anymore. I just go directly to the app and get all the answers I need. So those are some of the most popular ones. Oh, weather.
Weather.
Do you use the weather app?
All the time.
Okay,
Every morning.
good.
And multiple
That's
times
another
throughout
one
the day.
I use every
yeah,
day.
It's a big one.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What about you? What are some of your favorite apps?
Well, we just talked about the weather app. I love using that because it's, resourceful, it's functional, it gives me information about what I need to wear that day. I also use all of the social media platforms too. I like to stay in touch with people, know what's going on. I'm also a big Uber Eats, Postmates, so food delivery services. And then, one that I was actually thinking about the other day, since we're getting into heavy travel season, is all of my airline apps.
Good point. Yep. I'm a big Southwest Airlines app user. All your points to and from.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Delays, notifications, your boarding
Absolutely.
time, your ticket, it's all in one place, which makes it informative and resourceful.
So I think this is kind of indicative of the market, right? So we use them so regularly. We even stop to think, and we keep adding them. Starbucks app is another one that I'm
Starbucks
using
app,
at least
totally.
once a week.
Absolutely.
To jump the line,
Yep.
place your mobile order, pick it up. You don't even have to go to the cashier, which is nice. So that we use them even probably more than we even think we use them, which I think is a testament to how the market has shifted so much
Absolutely.
to mobile.
Yeah. Let's deep dive a little bit into not just the apps that we're using, but why we're using them. So we touched on, we're saying resourceful, we're saying functional, maybe a little bit of entertainment with social media, but why are we really using them? Why are we using apps versus, email and other things like
Right.
that?
I think speed and convenience, and they probably go hand in hand. And then for me, push notifications, right? So the push notifications really trigger you to take a look. And I think that the push notifications over the last few years, they've gotten more valuable. So it's not, hey, there's a new post. There's a new very specific post about the weather in your area. Within 2 miles, there's a lightning strike.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah.
It's very specific to my needs. So I think convenience and speed are definitely. And then, once you get into the app, it's just so much easier to navigate than trying to go to a website or sift through an email. So that's my personal preference. Anything additional from your vantage point?
I agree with you on that, and I can echo sort of your thoughts in ease of use is a big one for me. So, and again, selfishly, what am I getting out of the app too is a lot of the reason why I use apps. It makes my life easier, it's speedier, it's all in one place also. So not just the app having all of the contents I need in one place, but all of my apps are on my phone. So I don't have to open 15 different browsers. I don't have to go here to get this piece of information and here to get this piece of information. Everything is in my little screen, and at the touch of a finger, I can get to where I need to go and find the information I need to find.
So let me ask you a question. I think I'm doing this more and more, but do you bulk your apps? Like, do you have like you said, the Uber Eats and Postmates, like, do you put those in a folder? Are you a folder person?
I'm a big folder person.
Okay,
Yes,
all right.
love folders. So I have like my services, which is my Uber Eats, my Postmates,
Got
my,
it.
Blue Apron. I'm a big Blue Apron app person. So I have those, and then I have my social medias, my entertainments, my travel. I have a whole travel folder.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that keeps your phone screen more organized.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So it's
I
not
can
just...
see that about you.
Well, everything in my life is pretty organized, so that does make sense. But yeah, it makes it easy for me to then navigate through all of the apps I have. So as consumers and as, the technology space is blowing up, people are just shifting to apps in general, right? So it used to be super important to have a website. Well, now you're nothing without an app.
Correct.
So then the consumer, well, that can be a little overwhelming at times, having a way to organize it, but, still find what you need to find is, I think, a big part of it.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think it allows the business and the brand to have a direct relationship with you.
Absolutely.
Right? So you're using the app for convenience, ease of use, and things that benefit you. But the ultimate benefit to the brand is, you just mentioned a half a dozen brands, they now have a direct relationship with you. So they don't have to go through any intermediaries. It's Blue Apron and Alexa. Like, that's obviously really powerful for them.
Yep, absolutely. You mentioned push notifications, and I want to dive a little bit into the push notifications because I think that this is one of the most powerful tidbits on your phone in terms of getting information, getting quick information. So, what are the apps that give you push notifications? What push notifications do you find yourself interacting with?
So I think more and more ESPN.
Okay.
So I'm a proud Penn State alum. I have my app on ESPN set up that anytime there's a score alert, whether we won or lost or some big play, I get an alert. I don't find it intrusive because it's serving information that I'm most interested in. So again, the weather app, I like those push notifications because they're very specific to where I am. And even if they give you a notification about something that may have happened halfway across the world, maybe it was an earthquake, you feel informed. So I have never turned off a push notification because it was too intrusive. Conversely, I am unsubscribing to emails left, right, and center because it's just spam. So I think if it's specific to me, the better. And it's information I'm interested in, and that's why I keep them enabled.
I'm the same way.
Do you? Let me ask you this: do you actually click on the push notification, or do you just like read it and move about your day?
Well, so it depends on the type of the push notification, and that's what I love so much about them because, if it's more targeted, like you're saying, it might make me want to click. We have this concept that we've been talking about a lot, FOMO. Are you familiar with FOMO?
Sure, absolutely.
Fear of missing out.
Yeah.
So I think part of that with the, having push notifications enabled, but the text of the notification. So for example, Starbucks the other day said, it's double rewards day. Want to earn more rewards? It was something to that effect. And I was like, well, yeah, like I want to know how to get more rewards because I want to get to my latte for free that much faster. So I clicked. They gave me just enough information that made me want to know more, but without detailing everything in the push notification post. Like you said, conversely, you can do the other side of that, where you can give them just enough information that keeps them engaged with your app without actually having to click into the app. But I think there's a healthy balance of both.
Yeah, I agree. Do you ever get freaked out that the push notification is so tailored?
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if you use Google Maps or Waze, but it really knows my driving patterns at this point. So if I'm at the grocery store or at Home Depot, it will automatically tell me I'm 7 minutes away from home. Or, of course, every morning it tells me how many minutes it is to the office. Every evening it tells me how many minutes. Like, it definitely knows where I'm headed.
Absolutely.
And I guess that's a little bit Big Brother-ish, but
It works.
I'm like, okay, you just know my habits. That's fine.
Yeah.
Do you see that in your push notifications? Like, is it really leading you to about what you're going to do?
A little bit different than, maps and driving, but Instagram, I don't know if you've noticed, has started releasing different types of push notifications. One of the newer ones is people that you follow haven't posted on their story in a while. So they'll say, 1, 2, 3 people just posted for the first time in a while, check it out. I always check it out.
Right.
I want to know what they're posting. And it tends to be people that I either engage with a little bit more on social media, maybe I'm liking their posts more, or maybe they're liking mine, so it's telling me, hey, go check out your friends, see what they're doing. And I totally click on that every time. And then they didn't just get me to look at their stories, I'm now sucked into Instagram, the vortex. I'm scrolling through. And I think the most successful apps do that because they make you click, and then you read what you clicked about, but then there's something else that grabs your attention. I'm going to go click over here, maybe even for you with sporting apps, for example, ESPN, so maybe you check out the Penn State game, but you also just want to know because of, the conference that they're in, who else is doing well, who else lost, so...
I did that yesterday. So after we won, I was like, well, where are we in the Big Ten?
Right, exactly.
So then I went not just to the top 25 rankings, because I'm not sure if you're aware, but we're 13th in the country right now.
Got it.
Which is really rare for Penn State basketball, so soak it in. And then I went to see how are we doing in the conference. So, second in the Big Ten.
Exactly.
But that's a great example.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit before we close things out today. What makes you come back to apps time and time again?
I think a lot of what we've talked about, simplicity, personalization, and then, I kind of think of apps in 2 big categories. So, utility, so that Team Snap app I was talking about with my daughter's soccer team, there's a lot of utility. There also is some entertainment built into it. I don't use it that way, but other team members do. And then, the entertainment. So I think great apps like Facebook is a good example. You have utility blended with all of that personalization and entertainment. So those are probably the 2 things that I lean on. LinkedIn, I think, is a little bit of both. It's more business, or at least it's supposed to be. But then there's some lighthearted stories that are feel-good stories that are, I would classify more from an entertainment value versus trying to find somebody at a specific organization, which is very utility focused. So for me, they probably fall in those 2 categories.
I think you nail it on the head there when you talk about successful apps, why you use them, so you've taken the action already to download it, then why you continue to use them, coupled with push notifications. That's utility and entertainment. The most successful apps have a balance of both because you need to get the information, whether it's entertainment information or whether it's going to help you make a decision, getting to work, whatever the case may be. So I think that is a big aspect of driving apps forward.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense.
Yeah. Well, you've heard from us, and now we want to hear from you. So, Brad, thanks for joining me today. We'll see if you come back as my co-host, because right now
So this is a trial?
This is definitely a trial.
Okay.
Absolutely
All right.
a trial.
Well, thanks for having me. I hope I did okay.
Totally. We're going to put a poll in the Clowder app as well to see if Brad comes back to join me for the next video. As I mentioned in the beginning, you can participate by going to the Clowder mobile app and dropping a comment or a question in the Clowder Convos forum or using #ClowderConvos.